Am I the asshole for refusing to bend the rules on seeing my newborn just for one person, in parentheses sister-in-law, even if it's the only chance she has to see him for months? So I, 34 female, gave birth on Christmas Day. Before the birth, and to lessen visits, we, my husband, 28 male, and I made a list in October and sent it out to everyone. Some rules include up to date on all vaccines. If you feel any way sick, don't visit. That is a very normal, very reasonable request. Let us know a week beforehand so we can arrange a day/time for you to visit. No smokers. No phone calls or visits between 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can only stay 1 hour. No picking up the baby without consent. No advice. No perfume or deodorant. No pictures to be taken or posted on social media. If you visit the first time, you will be expected to give mom/me a gift card for mom and a gift for baby from our approved list. Before you ever come, no matter how many times, you will be given a list of either food or groceries to bring with you and a chore for a list of your choosing. No more than 2 visits a week per person. This is to help keep the visits to a minimum, and no one can complain about favoritism because everyone is treated equally. Which brings me on to my current situation. My sister-in-law, 20 female, studies in a different part of the country and is rarely home. She asked to visit last week before she had to go back to school. So we set up a date with the link to our gift list and then sent her the takeout we'd like, including the chores she can choose from. She immediately texted back saying that she's broke and can she just do extra chores instead. Me and my husband talked about it and came to the decision that if we bent the rules for one person, everyone would want the same treatment. We told her no, that we were very clear about our rules and maybe next time she could visit. She begged, even said she would clean the whole house because it would be June before she'd be home again, and we simply texted no. She left this morning and we got multiple texts from my in-laws belittling us for using our child as a cash grab. My husband simply replied it was our rules and no one deserves special treatment, then told his family they were on a timeout and blocked them. Since then, my family and our friends have told us we were wrong because she is a broke college student and they would have understood if we looked the other way once. We have tried reaching out to his sister, but she won't reply.
Am I the asshole for locking the door to my home so my husband's friend couldn't come in? Disclaimer, this is not my story. My husband's friend has been living with us for about 6 months now. When my husband presented the idea to me about him moving in, I was hesitant, but he was determined to get him out of the streets. Fast forward to present day, his friend got a part-time job at FedEx and quit a couple of weeks ago because he didn't like how the supervisor was talking to him. He doesn't contribute anything to our home, doesn't help cook, clean, or watch our children. He'll go in our office and smoke no matter how many times I tell him and my husband that he needs to do that outdoors. Yesterday I hit my breaking point. I wasn't feeling well as I had a migraine. 3 of our kids had dentist appointments. I went outside with our kids to see that my car was gone. He took my car to go smoke with his coworker. My husband was at work furious, wasn't even the word to describe it. I immediately went back inside and tried to call him. I didn't get an answer, so I called my husband where he sighed like he was so annoyed with me and said he would call him. I tried explaining to my husband that I'm at my breaking point. We have 6 kids and I get no help from him or his friend. He sleeps on our couch and doesn't even fold his blanket up in the morning. My husband told me that I'm overreacting and that I need to calm down. I ended up locking the front door and refused to open it until my husband got home. However, when he got home, he didn't try to come inside. He took a picture of our door, went on Instagram and told the world, "Have you ever been locked out of your own home?" I lost it. I feel like I've been more than patient and I can't do it anymore. I don't get basic help or respect in my own home and I'm constantly gaslighted. My husband has a history of getting extremely angry and scary, so I told him he needed to wait until our children were asleep in bed before coming in, as I was afraid he would come in and lash out in front of them like before. So am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for organizing a hoe union of girls in my college? I'm in a college organization that is also big on partying. It can be fun, but sadly it can also be risky. Most of my friends and I have had bad experiences. And kinda as a joke, I said to my friends that we should unionize. But they were 100% in on the idea, and we started a hoe union. We drew up a list saying we'd collectively skip or leave any party that A, let in or was hosted by any person who had sexually harassed any of us or anyone else. B, didn't let girls mix their own drinks or pick and open their own beers. C, was racist, homophobic, fatphobic, or otherwise bigoted about who they let in or were respectful of at the party. D, tried to enforce a ratio of girls to guys. Or E, if the host had a reputation for pushing freshmen or inexperienced drinkers to drink heavily. When we'd go to parties and shit was off, we'd send a group chat message and all just leave for another party or go to someone's apartment. We also told other girls at the party about why we were leaving and where, and often had a lot more girls leave with us. The group chat grew from us 7 to 36. Pretty much every girl in our social sphere was in on it or knew of it. With all of us sharing info, we all ended up going to parties that were much more chill. It wasn't strict or anything. Like if somebody in the group said we were leaving, it didn't mean anyone was forced to go. But most everyone would leave anyways because when practically every other girl leaves. But as quick as the chat grew, word that I'd organize it grew too. First, it was a couple of guys from frats pissed that their houses were no-goes for us. I told them I don't make that decision. It's not a centralized thing. But then the school administration got involved. I was called to talk to a guidance counselor, and she said that someone had reported that I was leading a group that ostracized people. She said that there was a list of people who, if they came to an event, I'd organize it so every woman left. I said there's not any list. It's just a group chat where people have occasionally said that someone harassed them or a party didn't seem safe, and then people in the group chat personally decided not to go. But I'm not like coordinating things. It's just the same as when one girl in a friend group is like, that guy or that frat isn't cool to drink around, and the rest of the group naturally isn't going to want to party around them. She said it wasn't a friend group. She was aware we called it a hoe union and had rules. I said that it is made up of friends and there aren't any enforced rules. It's all voluntary. I then got frustrated and asked why she thought it was appropriate to involve herself in private conversation that happened outside of school and campus. And then I left.
I'm an asshole for wanting to use doctor as my formal title for our wedding. For the closing portion of our wedding ceremony, when the officiant says, "It is my privilege to introduce you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs., that I would like to change my formal title to Dr. and Mrs. My fiance does not. I have a PhD in physical sciences, and I feel like I earned that title of being called a doctor. I don't use it in informal settings, and I rarely use it in my professional life, apart from a few formal settings including introductions at conferences. I feel like the introduction of the couple at the end of the wedding ceremony is a formal occasion and honors it. My fiance does not think it's appropriate to use doctor in this setting as it comes off as braggalicious and is irrelevant outside of the professional setting. My fiance agrees I'm within my right to request this formally, but my guest may be put off by it because it makes her cringe, and she would rather have no formal induction than that. I told her it's my wish to be called that, and it's not her place to dictate that. So am I the asshole? I'm the asshole for asking my friend to stop calling my boyfriend. I'm 25 and I have a boyfriend 27 of 2 years, and let's call him Derek. We have a female neutral friend, which we'll call Lila. Lila keeps calling Derek boyfriend and like, "Hey boyfriend, what you doing boyfriend?" which of course makes me uncomfortable. I confront her about it. Obviously she just told me it's a verbal tick that she got a while ago and she calls everyone boyfriend, which credit to her, I did hear her call other friends boyfriends as well. And she even calls me girlfriend, but that doesn't mean I'm comfortable with her calling my boyfriend that. So I told her to tone it down with my boyfriend and she promised she'd try. But just this evening, I hear her call Derek boyfriend, and worst of all, she didn't even apologize to me when I called her out on it. Honestly, I got fed up with her and I told her that if she really can't control calling other people's boyfriends and girlfriends, she should seek professional help, which she didn't really take lightly. And we fought till other people had to intervene. At home, Derek scolded me about what I said to her and said I'm being too jealous and possessive. I don't think I am though, especially when I warned her.
I just found out that my boyfriend of 2 years is married and has 2 kids. I'm showing myself to his family tomorrow at his church. I've been seeing this guy, Adam, 32, for 2 years. He's from another town but visits me on weekends. I never met his family, friends, or been to his town. I know that he works at the church and he takes pride in that. 3 weeks ago, I found out that he's actually married and has 2 kids. I was devastated and in a state of disbelief, but most of all, I was mad, especially after I confirmed via his wife's social media account. We're still talking and I haven't broke up with him yet. I planned and decided to show myself to his family on Sunday at his church and let them know that he used me and took advantage. I plan on ending it right there and then. I'm currently in his hometown staying at a hotel. I'm doing this tomorrow and no one knows except myself. He's still texting me lies thinking that I'm stupid or ignorant. I feel terrible, but something's pushing me to do this. Don't know if it's anger or feeling bad for his wife and kids. I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried this might backfire on me, but at this point I have nothing to lose. I just feel like I need to get my respect and dignity back after being lied to and fooled for 2 years.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law that she wouldn't be able to last a day in my shoes? Disclaimer, this is not my story. I, 34 female, have a brother, Jack, 36 male, who married my sister-in-law, Amy, 27 female, about 2 years ago. One thing you need to know about me and Amy is that we're polar opposites. I'm very honest and blunt. Amy, on the other hand, is a very sensitive type of person. Amy is a preschool teacher and has been for about 2 years. I'm an NICU nurse. I work long hours, often overtime, and have to nurse the tiniest of humans back to health. It's stressful, but I still prefer it over being an ER nurse, which is what I worked as until about 5 years ago. Apparently, me being blunt with my overly sensitive patients was a no-go. On Friday, I was invited to Jack and Amy's house for dinner. After dinner, we decided that we wanted to watch a movie. Jack told us to pick something out and that we would watch the movie after he got out the shower. He left the remote on the TV stand instead of giving it to one of us, and both of us were already sitting on separate chairs. This is where the entire issue started. Amy asked me if I could get the remote. I replied that she was the one closest to the TV stand. She said that her feet hurt. I said mine did too. She then said she had been on her feet all day. I said I was on my feet all day as well. Then she said that she was running around looking after kids. I replied that I had been running around trying to nurse newborns. She then went and asked me if I could just please get up and get the remote because she had a tiring day. I said that we both knew that if anyone had the more tiring day, it was me. She then said we both have hard jobs. I said when it comes to careers, we're on a much different level and that I could do her job, but she wouldn't be able to last a day in my shoes. She got upset and asked me if I was trying to insult her. I said no, I was just stating the obvious. She told me to forget about the movie and leave. Jack walked in as we were arguing and agreed that I should leave. Amy hasn't been answering my calls. I was able to get a hold of Jack and he called me an insensitive asshole.